John Baptist Kawanga has practiced law since 1970 when he joined the Directorate of Public Prosecution after graduating from the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Kawanga first met Yoweri Museveni one hot Monday afternoon in 1965 when he joined Ntare School in Mbarara district for his senior 5. They were both arts students who resided in Mbaguta House. Kawanga says although Museveni was a born-again Christian, his desire to be a leader was evident.
Kategaya got elected president of the debating society, and I think Museveni had wanted that position, but Kategaya got elected. And so what he did after about a week or two, he said, but why don't we start another society also? I said, which one? History Society. We started the History Society. He became the president and I became the secretary of the History Society.
The History Society gave Museveni a platform to nurture his political ambitions, which were deeply rooted in the Democratic Party, or DP.
He and myself were the few DP supporters at Ntare School at that time. Democratic Party supporters. Consequently, virtually every weekend we used to have a country walk. So we used to walk together to Mr. Byanyima's home. We were the first people to invite DP leaders to come and address Ntare School.
When they joined the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, Kawanga read law. Museveni, on the other hand, undertook a Bachelor of Arts undergraduate course with a combination of economics, political science, and law. He, however, dropped law in the second year. At this point, Museveni's DP and Pentecostal roots were firmly in the back seat where they remain today. He embraced revolutionary ideology and formed the University Students' African Revolutionary Front, or USAF, a vehicle for political activism. Kawanga says USAF members were also actively involved in the Tanganyika African National Union Youth League. However, Museveni's extracurricular activities affected his academic work.
USAF, together with the Frelimu, organized a trip to take students to the liberated part of Mozambique. And I think there was about 6 of us students who joined. Myself and 7 were from Uganda. I think about 2 from Kenya, Zanzibar, Malawi. He didn't put enough time into studies because he was used to be involved in all those kind of activities.
Many Ugandan students in Dar es Salaam had misgivings about the political direction of Obote's government. Kawanga says they were shocked when in 1970, on their return, Museveni joined the president's office. That year, a government official took Museveni to the Uganda Press Club on George Street and introduced him to the Uganda Abawejere Association, a socialist group led by the late Abbas Kibazo. Museveni later took over the association and gave them military training in Mengo Chisenyi, a Kampala slum. In January 1971, Museveni fled into exile. Kawanga says he did not know Museveni would engage in subversiveness until the ill-fated September 1972 raid on Uganda. On September 17, 1972, a small group of Ugandan exiles, loyal to Obote, carried out an armed invasion into Uganda from Tanzania. Museveni took part in the invasion, and his subsequent travels in and out of the country were facilitated by the Uganda Abawejere Association.
1 month after Ben Kiwanuka had been seized and taken and disappeared, I was sitting in my office in Masaka. And then somebody came and said, "Why Museveni ayagala?" I looked at this young man. He was driving a Volkswagen Variant. She was parked in front of my office. I said, "Where is he?" He says, "In Nyendo, at a restaurant somewhere. He would want to see you." About 45 minutes later, whatnot, when I was taking on my clients who were sitting, I found Museveni sitting there. My clients. So I, of course, called him into my office. I will not go into the details of what was.
Kawanga next met Museveni on June 20th, 1979, when President Yusuf Lule was ousted. Museveni was deputy chairman of the Military Commission. Wafula Ogutu, an opposition politician and journalist, believes June 20th was a turning point for Museveni.
Now when they removed Lule, we went demonstrating. Lule, no work, we carried out demonstration up to the State Square. And as I was arriving at the State Square, together with the Wenjes and whatnot and so on, Museveni came driving in a Mercedes-Benz in uniform and whatnot and so on. I said, come, even you are involved in this stuff. Said, yes, you people stop. He told us to stop the demonstrations and whatnot.
People are demonstrating in Kampala. Twagala Lule oba tufa tufe. Twagala Lule oba tufa tufe. That way the people were singing. I was staying in the Grand Imperial Hotel and we could hear this began late in the night. And Museveni was Minister of Defense. People are expressing themselves. Why would he send the soldiers to shoot at them? And some of us begin to think that what is wrong with what has happened. But he explained it that it was not intentional, blah, blah, blah. But it began to show what type of person he's going to be.
A few years after capturing power, Museveni abandoned the socialist ideology and embraced capitalism. Although many of Museveni's old friends never thought he would take this long in power, Kawanga believes that he moves with the times.
I'll never forget a statement he made shortly before he took over government. Some journalists asked him, said, "Who are your friends?" And he said, "Friends? I have no friends, I have workmates." So he tends, there is that he knows how to get people to work with him and for him. And for as long as you do that, it's no problem. But if you don't, then you normally fall out and he goes ahead.
Kawanga believes Museveni has remained true to his character in desiring leadership since his years at Ntare School. Museveni is now poised to run in another election, which, if he wins, could see his time as president of Uganda stretch to 40 years, making him one of the world's longest-serving presidents. Gillian Nantume, NTV.